So it's from the Royal Mint, so the same place that all legal tender comes from. It's got the same legal tender status that any other money has.
Never seen one of these.
Can I take your collar number, sorry?
Yeah, 3130. Sorry.
And you're from Middlesbrough Station, are you?
No, I'm from Stockton. Stockton Police Station.
I was asked the post office. They said they are not accept this one.
Yeah, I don't think they would either, to be honest with you. Have you got any other means of payment at the minute?
I don't know. Right. Can I ask why you didn't tell me before you started recording?
So when we go to any incident, our tour of duty and our police protocol is to video every incident we go to achieve the best evidence.
But you've got to notify the person.
What starts as a quiet stop at a BP station quickly spirals into a bizarre test of law and logic. An auditor, armed only with a 20-pound commemorative coin from the Royal Mint, legal tender by all definitions, finds himself surrounded by police officers who don't seem to know the law they're enforcing. What follows is a masterclass in confusion, policy missteps, and ego. From body cam blunders to threats of arrest over a perfectly valid payment, this case raises a chilling question. What happens when the people enforcing the rules don't understand them? Let's break it down.
Have you got that from somewhere? Have you read that up somewhere? Or?
Yes, your policy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at the minute, we're obviously videoing everything because we've been called to an incident. Immediate response where there's some ongoing issue with payment, whether it's a domestic...
999?
Well, that's what's coming as, yeah.
Well,
we just didn't know what was happening. There was an altercation in the shop, so we've arrived on that instance.
But you've still got to tell someone at the first available opportunity that you're recording, and you didn't.
Well, we don't have to tell you. We turn our body cameras on 30 seconds before any incident. So these pre-record technically when we're in the vehicle.
But you do have to tell them before you start recording.
We don't. Are you going to give me your name?
I'm not, no.
Right, okay.
Because
Is there a reason for that?
Because it's a civil matter, and it's not something that the police can get involved in.
To a degree, you're right. It is a civil matter. But we can deal with it a different way. But obviously, ultimately, you haven't paid for the fuel.
I have.
But they're not accepting that money.
But that's up to them to accept it. If they decline...
They've obviously run the post office and they've declined that. Ultimately, it's a civil issue. But if you're not willing to give us your details, then how do we know that you're going to resolve the civil issue at a later date? If you're happy to give us your details, then we can look at the civil issue at a later date.
But that's a civil issue. That's nothing for the police to get involved in.
But we don't know your details, do we? So you could technically escape.
Here's where things start to fall apart. The officer admits his body cam was rolling before even telling the subject. A direct violation of force policy. UK police guidelines are clear. Citizens must be informed at the first available opportunity that they're being recorded. Instead, the officer doubles down with a half-hearted explanation about pre-record buffers. That's not transparency. It's technical misdirection. And this misstep isn't minor. It undercuts the integrity of every second of footage that follows. Already, the professionalism of this encounter is on shaky ground, and we're barely 2 minutes in.
It is. It is a police issue because you've not paid for fuel. So there's still an offence there of that you've not paid for your fuel.
But I have paid. I've gave them.
But you've gave them this coin, yeah, which ultimately they've spoke to the post office and they've decided that it's not a reasonable amount of payment for your fuel. So at the minute we're sort of hands are tied, yeah. Agree with you on a certain instance of that, but we still need a solution today, whether we take your details and we deal with it at a later date, or we pay a different...
Is that for me as well?
I'm not too sure. Potentially, yeah, I'm not too sure.
Oh my god.
Could be a different job, but I don't actually know who that is, if I'm honest with you. It must be. I wasn't aware somebody else was travelling, so...
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Shall we move out the way?
If you want to move back here, that's not a problem, yeah, out the way of people.
Just interrupting people.
So you're going to give us your details?
Have you came as well on blue lights?
Yeah. So basically, he's trying to pay with this. They've run the post office and said that it doesn't really exist, you can't pay with that. No. He obviously won't give us our details. I've explained to him to a degree it's a civil matter, however, if he does make off and he doesn't give us our details, we're struggling for any sort of civil issue at a later date. Any details and make an offer about payment, yeah. So I've explained if he does give us his details and we know where he is and we can contact him at a later date, hopefully this issue can get resolved. No. He's obviously not really wanting to do that at the minute.
Because it's a civil issue and it's nothing for the police to get involved in.
But you're still going to make off, aren't you? Technically without payment, but if we can get your details...
But I have paid.
But you haven't...
And it is their policy to accept the £20 coin.
Has he paid? No, he hasn't.
Right, if you haven't paid and if you walk out the door now,
they've still got... They've still got the money though.
Just
let me finish. If you walk out that door now, you are liable for an arrest because
This moment perfectly captures the mental gymnastics of escalation. The officer concedes, correctly, that it's a civil matter. Yet seconds later, the tone shifts. Now, it's suddenly a criminal concern because the auditor won't give his name. But here's the issue. Refusing to identify yourself isn't a crime in the UK unless you're lawfully detained. And lawful detention requires an actual crime. The irony is thick. They've just acknowledged no criminal act has occurred, yet they're building a case out of thin air. This is where misunderstanding morphs into misuse of authority.
So if you walk out that
No,
door
it's
now,
not.
it is. If you walk out that door now, you'll be getting arrested for make off without payment.
But there is an agreement with BP that
Is there,
the coin can be
is
used.
there any other way that you can pay? Because we're going to sit here for hours arguing. I've been quite respectful to you. I appreciate you have to a degree, and I appreciate that from yourself. You haven't been argumentative with me, and I appreciate that you've been a normal human being.
No,
However, we need
I don't
a
intend to.
solution.
No.
No, I know you
If
appreciate
you
that.
can pay for the fuel now by other means, then that's fair enough. It'll be the end of the matter.
Or if you can give us your details and we can deal with it at a slower time, we can offer you that. But if you're not willing to do either any, then we're struggling with what we have left to do.
Because we can't let you walk out that door without paying. But
We don't know where you live. You might not even be from around here. I'm not saying you are, but you know what I mean. We have people where they'll make off and then they won't give us our details, and then we're going to struggle. I'm still going to have that £20 of fuel, unfortunately, with this BP garage outstanding.
Which car is it?
But I have paid for the fuel.
But you haven't paid for the
haven't
fuel.
paid for
Which
fuel.
one?
Right, we're going round in circles, aren't we?
We are, unfortunately, yeah. But we're trying to.
But if BP have a process and a policy that they take the
So
coin,
where have you read this policy then? Tell me about that education side of what you know.
it's not up to me to educate you on
Well,
their
you're telling me
policy.
it's their policy, so I'm just asking,
Yeah.
what's your policy? You got a policy? If he's saying you've got a policy, is there a policy here?
He said he doesn't know about it, but I've checked with BP head office before
Right,
coming.
and who did you contact from BP head office?
But it's not,
Speak to a
it's not up to
person,
me
or-
to tell you that. It's up to them.
Well, you either engage with us and we deal with it, because one minute you're saying it's a reason to pay with this, but then you're not backing yourself up with a reason as to what that is. You've said you've contacted head office, appreciate that if that's what you've done, you've gone out your way and done that.
Yep.
But we don't know which head office, when you've contacted them, what they've said, we don't know anything. So all I know, you could just be lying to me now.
But that's a civil issue. It's nothing to do with myself
But if you
or
make
you.
off without giving us any details, we've agreed, we've reasoned with you now, and we've tried to say that if you give us your details, just tell you where they live, we'll deal with it slow time. However, you then leave, we don't have your details, we don't know where you live, you could live in London for all we know, and then there's still this making off without payment because they will not accept this as payment.
But I don't have to identify for a civil issue.
It technically isn't a civil issue though, is it, when you leave and you don't pay? You haven't paid for your fuel. We've got the payment here, which isn't acceptable, so really you haven't paid at the minute.
Well, I have, because I've handed the coin over. So
Right.
I haven't got that in my...
This is where the legal logic elapses entirely. The officer warns that walking away could result in an arrest for making off without payment. But legally, that charge under Section 3 of the Theft Act 1978 requires two things: dishonesty and intent to avoid payment. Neither exists here. The man literally offered payment, the same as handing over cash that the clerk refuses to touch. There's no deception, no flight, no theft. Yet the police are treating refused payment as no payment. That's not law enforcement. That's intimidation dressed as a...
So was it to contact them today, or was it yesterday, or last week, or...?
It's not up to me to say that. It's not up to the police
Well,
to
we've
do
give you options, haven't we? So we either work with an option... You are?
But it would be an unlawful arrest though, because it's a civil issue.
Hi Sarge, just Jessie free to speak. You right here. Just a quick one, we just let me... Oh, you're not free to speak.
Can you tell me why you didn't warn me about your body camera as well?
I've told you already.
Body one's on it.
But why didn't you tell me?
Basically saying we haven't told him.
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't need to tell you.
Swap.
You do.
I don't.
Basically.
You do.
No, I don't.
It's part of your policy, you do.
No, it's not.
At the first reasonable opportunity.
Go on.
Don't show me details like that.
Yeah, and is there a picture?
No.
Yeah, perfect. Would you mind just adding that vehicle to the job, please? The easy option is that you pay,
But I have paid.
but you haven't paid because that's not...
But if I've got a civil agreement with the company prior to coming, that's nothing to do with you.
I don't understand the civil agreement. Why would the... If it's not money, it's not money.
But it is.
That's why I'm getting confused. How's it money?
Do you understand what the £20 coin is?
No, that's why I'm confused.
Well, why are you threatening me for arrest then, if you don't know?
Because it's not money.
It is.
Right. We'll agree to disagree. At the end of
You
the...
don't know that. It is. It's
Right.
legal tender, the same as a £20 note and a £10 note.
Right, and who did you speak to from the BT sort?
It's a full loop of frustration. The officers demand the auditor explain BP's own policy, even though that's the company's responsibility, not his. One officer admits he doesn't even know such a policy exists, but still insists it must validate their stance. It's an absurd inversion of logic. The citizen is expected to educate the enforcers. What we're seeing is a live example of procedural ignorance, where confusion replaces clarity, and a civil disagreement becomes a pseudo-criminal standoff because no one in uniform wants to back down.
The BP garage, the manager.
It's a Royal Mint who issued that £20 coin.
Right. Okay.
So it's the same money as any other money. She has the packaging.
That's fine. I've
It's
seen
given
it,
by
but
the Royal
like
Mint.
I've said, I've never saw it before.
The Royal Mint make £20 notes, £10 notes.
Right, okay. But I'm not aware of it, and that's why we haven't.
But then you're threatening me with arrest because you don't know. You can't do that.
Well, if you get someone on the phone to me who you've spoken to earlier, then we can kind of end the matter here, can't we?
But if it's a civil
you're not
issue, I
doing it.
don't need
But
to
at the minute
assist you.
But at the minute we don't know it's a civil matter.
But I don't need to assist you in a civil issue.
But you do, because it then turns into a police matter because we don't know that coin.
But if
This is
there's a-
what I'm getting at.
but if there's
You're
a civil
running the risk
agreement-
of being arrested because you haven't given us his details, and you're going to walk out that door, and it's technically a failure to pay.
But then it'll be
Make
a
off
civil.
without payment.
But then I'll sue you.
Well, that's
So,
fine. If you want to sue us, that's fine.
unlawful
But
arrest.
like I said, we've been honest with you in terms of which way we can go. The staff here have been very honest, okay? And all I'm saying
But he
is, if you
hasn't.
get the person on the phone who you spoke to earlier with the agreement, then that could be the end of the matter. But
you
as
know-
far as I do, then technically, if you walk out the door, it's going to be make without payment.
He's already accepted to take it.
You haven't accepted to take it. No, hasn't accepted to take it.
He said.
Sorry, hasn't accepted to take it.
He said if I take me.
So
He said if I take my mask off, he would take it.
You are and you're right. At this moment in time, it's a civil issue. We know that. However, this isn't a means of payment. So once you walk out that door and you choose not to pay, then it becomes a criminal matter of making off without payment.
But he's
which is
already
what-
accepted
we're
it.
not talking about that. We're talking about
messing around
what
here.
we've got.
It's ridiculous, really.
He said he would take
But
it
he's not.
if I
We're
take
not-
my mask off.
Right, no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying,
what he said.
well,
Well,
that if you
can wear a
don't,
mask all you want.
Here's where the patience pays off. The auditor reveals he contacted BP's head office beforehand, verifying the coin is valid legal tender. That's due diligence. Instead of checking that claim, officers shrug it off. One even admits he's never seen such a coin before, as if unfamiliarity equals illegitimacy. Imagine being detained because an officer hasn't updated his coin knowledge since 2010. This moment underscores a key point. Ignorance is not authority. The Royal Mint's confirmation exists publicly. A quick call could have ended this entire ordeal.
you walk out that door, it becomes a criminal matter, and you get arrested for make off without payment.
Or you give us your
because
details.
You're refusing to give us your
From there.
details, and we don't know that that vehicle is yours because you're not.
But I've told you
Is it urgent?
that he said he would take the coin
But he isn't now. is
if
he?
I take my mask off.
Right, well, I wasn't here for that, so we have no witnesses, unfortunately, other than you and him. Right now, I can't view that.
Body camera.
But right now, I can't view that. At the end of the day, you've come in, you've paid for,
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got your fuel, you've come in. This isn't a payable matter. Once you leave, we've offered you to give us your details and deal with it that way. For all I know, that vehicle could be registered to somebody else and lived in London. And how are we ever going to trace you? That's my matter at the minute, because you're still refusing to give me
I
your
get that.
details. You're refusing to tell me what head office said. You're refusing to tell me when you sort of rang them and what their policy is. When I've asked you.
There is one on them.
But I
So
don't
once
need
you
to
leave
assist
this
you.
situation, it is making off without payment. I can't be any more reasonable with you and give you some sort of options that we can go
But I
with,
don't
but you're
need
still
to assist you.
refusing
I don't need to assist the police in a civil
please.
matter.
It's a civil matter until you leave. And you are choosing not to pay, so it comes into a criminal matter of making off without payment. If you
That's
want to know
why
what
I
it's called, it's
contacted-
like bilking. We call it bilking here.
That's why I contacted BP head office before
Okay.
coming. Are you listening?
I am listening, yes, but my sergeant's talking to me.
Well, tell him you're busy.
Yes, go ahead. One of my colleagues here, there's two of us. I'm on the comms. Right, Linda, I'll get back to you. You what, sorry? Right, okay, that's perfect. I'll let you know what happens. Cheers, my dear, thank you, bye-bye. Bye.
The reason I contacted BP before this is to stop this from happening.
Right, but it
I
has,
contacted them beforehand.
Right, but do you understand that it has happened, and now obviously we're kind of in a predicament that if you walk out that door, then it is a bilkin.
But
So
if-
you will be liable for an arrest because we don't know who you are. And that is not a matter of payment in our kind of eyes. That's all I'm saying to you.
Well, in your eyes,
you're not being reasonable like we're being reasonable to you. You haven't given us your name. We don't know who you are, and you're saying that you're going to walk out those doors without paying. So then you are liable for an arrest.
But I have paid them
But you haven't paid.
with a legal tender.
But you haven't paid. We're going around in circles. You're just going to disagree with everything I say to you. So
Likewise.
admit it. Well, exactly. So that until we kind of clarify with our supervision what's going to happen, there's no point going around in circles, is there?
Well, there isn't, no.
Right.
But to stop the dishonest part is a reason why I contacted BP.
Now the conversation hits its breaking point. The officers frame the situation as criminal the moment he steps outside, ignoring the simple truth that payment was offered and refused. Under the Royal Mint Act 1969, legal tender must be accepted for debts, unless both parties agree otherwise beforehand. Once that coin hit the counter, the debt was extinguished. The station's refusal isn't a police issue, it's a customer service one. Yet, here we are with blue lights, legal confusion, and veiled threats, all because someone didn't recognize